Hello, everybody. Good to see you guys. I hope y'all are doing well on this Tuesday afternoon or night or whatever time zone you're in. I hope y'all are doing well. Thank you guys so much for being in here. If y'all haven't hit the like, please do so. I know there's not going to be a whole lot of people in for these type of lives, but that's okay. That's okay because people can always go back and watch the replay. I mean, I would love to see a buttload in here, but I'm thankful for the support that you guys give me, whether it's 1 or 2 or 20 or 30. Whatever. I really appreciate it. Okay, guys. So tonight is going to be a little bit different than what we're normally doing, and I'll say hello to everybody here in just a minute. Healing 1,000 different ways. Now, I'm not going to, that we'll be doing probably this, there'll probably be a part 2 to this one, but that's okay too. It'll be a healing 1,000 different ways part 2. We'll do that sometime next year. I know that sounds crazy, but it's getting closer to the end of the year, so we'll do it sometime next year. But we're going to be going over 1,000 different ways for healing. You are not alone. This is like a mental health, well-being, healing. Okay, hippie Gmail. Well, I might read you to sleep, but like life, PTSD, you're not alone. It's kind of all together. It's really good. It was sent to me by a church. It's called Unity. I don't know if it's called unity.org. So I don't know if it's Unity organization or Christian organization. I'm not really for sure, but I'll show you guys here in a minute. There is 64 pages. I'm not going to go through all of them tonight. I'll probably go through about half. Because they're not massively long. It's a bunch of different, like, stories. And I figured, why not go over it with you guys? And, it might help somebody along the way. You never know. You never know. And it might help me. You just don't know. So, let me go in and say hello to all you beautiful, amazing people. Hello, Granny. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. Hello, Hippie G-Ma. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing good. Summer Thunder. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Juju Bones. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing good. And that baby's not kicking your butt too bad. And thank you so much, Hippie G-Ma, for being a member for 13 months. I really appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you too, honey. Hello, Miss Julie. Good to see ya. Hope you're well, honey. And Beagle Mom, good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing good. I hope Jim's doing good. All right, guys, I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. It's the same picture that was on the screen. Hold on just a minute, guys. And I don't know if Tyler was on my computer, so I had to situate everything. But, oh my goodness. Yes, that's where the picture came from. It's a little booklet. It was sent to me. It's got a bunch of pages. Like here's the table of contents. I don't know if you guys could see it or not. But, I mean, there's different stories. There it is. There's different stories. Like, see. And I figured, I know this looks like kind of like school, but I figured we might be able to go over it and help somebody. I know this sounds crazy, but I thought it was a good little book. And then we also have a book coming up the first of the year. I think it's January the 6th or 7th or something like that. And we'll be going over this one, The Spiritual Wisdom of Pets. And it's got different stories as well. It was sent to me from the same people. Like, there's pictures and all kinds of stuff. And I think it would be really useful. Like, So, all right. So, healing 1,000 different ways. The first one is healing 1,000 different ways. It's a story. Like I said, I think all these are stories. Alrighty, guys. And this is the picture of the first one we're looking at. Healing 1,000 different ways. Alrighty, guys. Give me just a second. For some reason. Okay. All right, it says, throughout my adult life, I developed several physical health challenges, and for 15 years, I was also a full-time caregiver to my oldest son who had a life-threatening chronic condition that required around-the-clock monitoring. I became exhausting and bewildered. I was first drawn to Unity almost 25 years ago because of co-founder Myrtle Fillmore's healing story and the inclusiveness I felt at Unity Church. Yes, it is Unity Church, guys. I attended. You might know that Unity involved on a Myrtle healing journey. Myrtle spent years focusing on praying affirmatively with the intent to heal her own physical ailments. She believed she could heal herself, and she did. The book Myrtle Fillmore's Healing Letters was my guidebook back then. I had a very specific idea about what it meant to be healed and thought if I followed Myrtle's path, then surely things would get better. But I often had this nagging voice in my head that said, it's not as if you can quit your job or ignore your responsibilities as a caregiver to focus on healing. Who has hours a day for meditation like Myrtle did? I felt like an imposter because I believed the teachings but was not using them consistently in my own life. I was looking for complete healing all at once. As I read about the importance of sitting in silence and praying actively, knowing that Myrtle dedicated her life to prayer, inviting her body to heal, believing that she could heal, my biggest barrier was my own belief that I could not possibly devote enough time and energy to do that. I eventually went to work at the Unity World headquarters, where I've now worked off and on for 15 years. When I returned to UWH, which is the Unity World headquarters, 3 years ago, I physically felt tired and out of balance. My health issues had only compounded throughout the years, one issue piling on top of the next. I was more than a little overwhelmed so many years later. Upon my return to UWH, which is a Unity, I set a quiet intention that I was coming back to heal myself once and for all. Finding healing. I started doing technical things I knew I had to do for physical healing. I found good doctors and worked with them diligently. I became connected to my body, paying attention to how foods, drinks, medicines, and supplements made me feel. I began moving more often. I started blessing my body more regularly and speaking positive statements to myself. But that was just the beginning of hard work. Through journaling, prayer, and meditation, I knew deep down in my physical conditions were related to unhealed parts of myself. I had deep trauma from my childhood and from the early years of my son's diagnosis when he almost died. Other than start and stop therapy, I had never really dealt with my trauma in a meaningful way. I was finally ready to do the work. I found a wonderful therapist who introduced me to tools and resources I knew nothing about. Bilateral stimulation music is something I now use every day to calm my mind, ease my racing thoughts, and help me settle into my own center. This helps me move more easily into meditation where I can let spirit guide me. She also recommended eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, or EDMR therapy, which uses bilateral stimulation to heal deeply embedded trauma. For more than a year, we've worked on childhood issues, trauma around my son almost dying, and the stress of raising him with chronic medical condition. EDMR has been life-altering. Through the EDMR process, I've released pain I've been carrying with me for 20 to 50 years. I can generally say I've healed the most traumatic periods of my life. Releasing this trauma has freed me to more closely connect with what my physical body needs. I'm learning that healing isn't all at once. It comes in phases by taking one issue at a time. Paying attention to my body, talking to my body, and listening. I no longer think I will be healed in a single jolt. For so long, I thought healing had an end date. I will be healed. I now realize that healing is not a straight line, and it's never ending. I am on a healing journey that will last a lifetime. Listening to the body. Hello, Deanna. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. Hold on just a second, guys. Just a minute. As I said, it's kind of like story time, but I think it's really useful information. Listening to the body. As I've listened to my body, I also discovered things like when my back hurts, when my body really needs is movement and stretching, not sitting or lying down, when I feel ashamed and frustrated for being overweight. I'm learning to go to the gym anyway, 1 or 2 sessions at the gym, and I feel alive, stronger mentally and physically. I'm learning that my mind and body want to heal. It's simply lack consciousness. That tells me it's too hard, I'm too fat, or there isn't enough time. I can also see now that I didn't have to dedicate hours and days to continuous meditation and prayer for the unity teachings to guide me in healing. I simply had to make a little space for myself and for spirit. These past few years have been a lot of work. It took feeling like I was at my wit's end before I made time for myself. If I could offer one glimmer of advice, don't wait. Find one thing to focus on that is simply for your own well-being, even if it's just for 5 minutes a day. Take that one step and do it for a whole year. If you need to before you move to another thing you want to focus on, but make sure the priority at least a few minutes every single day, and believe that you can heal. Find some way to connect with your center, whatever that looks like for you. Music, dance, yoga, writing, reading, meditation, prayer, talking with a friend, or walk in the woods. The flow of the Spirit is always available. We simply need to get it out of our way. I now believe we are all here to heal ourselves in 1,000 different ways, 1,000 different times. This journey is mine. I claim it, and I know I don't have to run from it anymore or ignore it because it seems too big and overwhelming. It never had to be all or nothing thinking I had for so long. Every day my healing journey is simply to step back to my own center. There's always one more opportunity to connect with my own spiritual nature, to let the universe guide my steps, and to set a new healing intention. That was by Angie Olson. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And then we're getting ready to do another one. I hope y'all enjoyed that one. Okay, the next one, and I'll show you guys the picture. Daggone it. Sorry, guys. I wish my camera would work. Taking the first step towards healing. There it is. That's the next one we're getting ready to go over. Alrighty, guys. It says Reverend Carolyn Warnemundi. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I apologize, guys. Alright, it says, have you ever forgotten who you are? I have. Instead of remembering that I'm an expression of God right here on earth, filled with powerful God qualities, I slip into calling myself a fiercely independent woman, a seasoned procrastinator, a great pretender. When I claim these traits as who I am, I sabotage any authentic first step towards healing. The Taoist sage Lao Tzu said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with every single step. When I took a path towards becoming spiritually, emotionally, and physically well, it can seem like a daunting, arduous 1,000-mile journey. The first step may seem elusive, and I want to clarify. I may doubt my stamina to stay the course. I wonder where I have the courage to release my familiar but unworkable ways and step into the new. Instead of seeing the first step as just that, a living in the moment step, I fast forward to, I can never walk 1,000 miles, and I hesitate. I am afraid. Yes, we all need to be a little bit more positive in our lives. I know that's easier said than done, but we're here to support one another, guys, so we can do it with each other's help. But there's another way. When I use my inner wisdom as my guide, I see how to begin my journey with confidence. I break that first step into 3 phases. The first is the decision. In this phase, I do the research and discover what path entails. I learn when I can, knowing each person is unique and will experience the path differently. I begin to see what the journey might be like for me and courageously make my decision. The second phase is commitment. Once I know what I might experience during the healing process, I commit to the work. This step is critical because sometimes my pain or angst hasn't reached the point where I'm willing to fully commit to the 1,000-mile healing journey, even though I want to feel better, or I may think I've committed. But when things get tough, I quit the journey. Not just take the respite, but quit. And there's many times that we felt like just giving up and throwing in the towel. I know that I'm one of them. So these are like real life stories, and I think they're amazing so far. What I need to remember is that commitment and follow through lead to wellness. Once I decided truly committed, I'm ready for the third and final phase. Fully stepping onto the path as we teach in unity. Knowledge is not enough. We must take action. Sometimes, even when I know I'm prepared and ready for my journey, I still create reasons not to begin. That's procrastination, guys. For steps in, and I become my own worst enemy. I say to myself, how I feel really isn't so bad. I think I'll just wait. And I don't have time to do this now anyway. I think we've all been there, guys. When this happens, I reach out for support. Which I think is great because everybody needs support, guys. So it doesn't hurt not one bit to reach out and have somebody to talk to, I go to a friend who will say, I'm here for you. You can do this. Absolutely, guys. And you guys know, since day one, I've always told you guys that I'm here for you. And if you ever need somebody to talk to, I'm here for you. I might not understand what you're going through, but that's okay. Because that's what support is all about, I could be there for you, and I can lift you up, and I can just be a true friend and give you words, of encouragement and telling you, don't give up. You're not alone. Stuff like that. I have a friend who reassures me that when things get tough, they will hold my hand or give me a shoulder to cry on. I want to know that when I take the first step on my healing journey, I won't be doing it alone. I empower myself by reframing my independence, procrastination, and pretending. My independence leads me onto a healing path uniquely my own. My procrastination loses its power, and I'm clear that I commit to a path. Instead of pretending, I use my own power of imagination to see myself as the whole expression of spirit I am. When I do this, that first step shifts from being daunting to becoming an exciting adventure. So with faith and knowing that I'm supported with love, I'm on my way. I courageously and confidently take my first step. Sorry, guys. There's some of these words I have a hard time getting out because of my accent, but you guys eventually get what I'm saying. Okay, this is practice, guys. This is something that you could do in your on time, or you could do it now. It says practice. Gently close your eyes and breathe slowly, paying attention to how your breath feels as you inhale and exhale. Relax the muscles of your face and neck, especially those behind your eyes. Now imagine yourself in a beautiful meadow covered with flowers and dotted with trees. A meandering path leads beside a gurgling stream. Watch yourself step onto the path. Feel the textures beneath your feet as you walk on smooth packed dirt. Step on little stones, scramble over boulders. Notice that you are climbing upward. Your breath quickens and you begin to tire, but you continue your trek. Finally, you find yourself on a mountaintop, experiencing your sense of elation. Embrace the fulfillment you feel. Breathe in the beauty. Look back at the path you traveled and laugh. Laugh with joy at what you accomplished. Lift your arms in gratitude, calling in delight and loud voice. Thank you. Hear the echo of your inner voice calling back. Of course you did it. Claim the wholeness, the health that you inherently are. See your beauty radiance shining forth. Feel you. That's great, Miss Julie. That's great, honey. And then here's the next one, guys. Think on it. Think on it. Sorry, guys. Playing our part in healing. I think these pictures are so pretty. Sorry, my camera wants to be a pain in my rear. There it is. Playing our part in healing. This is by Reverend Leslie Miller. For most of my life, I did not understand how physical healing worked. I did not know healing was always happening in me. There were illnesses, scars, and chronic pain, but I left healing to others. My trust, my faith remained in doctors and modern medicine. I even trust science to take care of the metastatic breast cancer they found. A Unity Truth student by then, I gave my emotional and spiritual well-being to God, but still gave responsibility for my healing to the doctors. While I was told I was surgically cured, I believed it completely. This was an opportunity to begin again rather than return to old patterns. Who did I want to be? What did I want to do now that spirit was a greater part of my awareness? Source guided me to move in its direction. In 2011, while studying Unity teachings at seminary and praying with others at Silent Unity Prayer Ministry, a chronic pain became frighteningly acute. The doctor recommended surgery. I decided to wait, if I could bear it, until my medical leave benefit took effect. On the night before Easter, exhausted after a full day at work and in terrible pain, I drove to a spiritual healing service at Unity Village instead of going to the grocery store. I needed to prepare myself for guests coming the next day, but I was falling apart. Absolutely, Miss Julie. Soothed by the music and prayers around me, I fell asleep briefly. When I woke up, a friend I knew from church approached me. I didn't know she saw my wholeness. I only saw my suffering. She asked me where the pain was. I put my hands over my belly, holding tight. As she moved around me, my mind went to quiet, dark place deep within. Call it a trance or spirit dream. In it, I saw my former husband standing in front of me. We'd been divorced for 12 years by then. In the dream, I stepped towards him, put my hands on his shoulders, turned him away from me, and gave a small push, sending him gently into the darkness. I understood without words that I was letting go of an resentment I had carried all my life. I released the blame for being SA'd during our 30 years together, recognizing in that moment my own part in creating their relationship. This was forgiveness at its deepest level. At that instant, the forebuds, the MRI had shown overgrowing in my insides began to shrink. I felt them shrivel. They seemed to find an exit on my left side and fly away. No longer alive within my body, the doctor had said I was feeding them with my blood. It made sense that when I stopped feeding them with my thoughts, I healed. I held the side where they seemed to have escaped, crying, still stunned by what happened. Other healings have happened since. Surgeries and conditions come with life, but they no longer cause suffering because I learned I play a part in my healing. I take responsibility for it. It's my job to heal my thinking about my situation in my life. Today, it is my faith in God's presence in me that shows me how. Hello, Artsy. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. We're just going over. I'm doing some reading in this booklet, honey. And it's just little stories, but I thought it might help somebody. This was forgiveness at the deepest level. What that story was just what. All right, guys. And here's another practice, guys. And you guys don't have to do it now, but you can always rewatch this. I keep this live. I keep all my lives up there. So if y'all ever want to go back and rewatch them, you always can. This is practice. Find a comfortable position. Lie back and relax completely. As you do, breathe into the comfort of the moment. Be still and know healing is happening. Affirm God's healing love is at work in my mind, body, and spirit. Remind yourself you are much more than physical being. Remember, you are spirit. Recognize your perfect wholeness. Settle into awareness of God's healing activity taking place within. From the top of your head to the tips of your toes, send healing thoughts to bless whatever hurts. Bless your relationships. Bless the world. If your need for forgiveness arises, make a mental note of it as something that also wants to be revealed and healed. Let intuition guide you. Follow Spirit's loving voice. Give thanks as divine mind show you to your highest good. Healing is happening. You can partner in God's healing with rest, self-care, water, movement, and good nutrition. Be gentle and loving to yourself. Listen to a guided meditation or read a daily word affirmation. Call the Unity Prayer Ministry. It used to be called Silent Unity for Prayer, as you turn your thoughts to the power and presence of God within. You will feel the strengthening flow. Know that healing is always happening. Your divine essence is whole and well. Reverend Leslie Miller. That's that one. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope I'm not boring you guys. I think that's just me. I think it's very interesting when you guys think about them so far. Well, I get a sip of drink. What do you guys think about them so far? Let me know. Let me know what you think. I really do hope that you guys are enjoying these. Like I said, there's going to be a part 2 because I think this is like 60-some pages, and I'm not going to go through it all tonight because I don't want to bore people in it, and that way it gives us a chance to have another live about this, Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I mean, I know, and I don't throw Christianity on nobody, not at all. People believe what they want to believe, but, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Bible. And I just think, like I said, these came from my church. And I just love it because it's life stories. It's life stories. And it'd be able to help you or help somebody down the road. I think it's amazing that these people want to share their life stories, And maybe might be able to help somebody else. And that's why we're going over it, guys. Might be able to help somebody and let them know that they're not alone. Oh, that's great, Deanna in Ohio, honey. That's great, sweetheart. Yes. Prayers do work. I strongly believe in prayers. I strongly believe in miracles. It's very hard when you're going through so much in your life. And trust me, I know. I know. It's very hard. Financially and spiritually, and just struggle. And it's, life is a daily struggle. But, it's hard. And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't have my faith, but sometimes it seems like life smacks you right in the face, and it's so hard to keep your faith strong. And in the Bible it says, don't know it word for word, guys, but the faith of a mustard seed. So you guys know how big a mustard seed is. they're talking about having that much faith. But it's just hard when, life just throws you lemons. It's hard to make lemonade, if that makes sense. It's very hard, and life is a constant struggle. And absolutely, Miss Julie, God is bigger than anything you could ever come against. Absolutely. So I believe in prayers. I believe in miracles. Like I've talked to several of you guys, and I won't say who, but like I've said before, or that I've told these people, and like I said, I won't say who, but it's crazy because God, you could pray, and that's great. It's great to pray and worship. But God answers the prayers in His time, not your time. So it's very hard. You're like, I really need this right now, but it's hard. It really is hard, and it's just like you're impatient in a way, because you really need that something, or whatever's going on, or you really need somebody to heal or get better from the sickness, or get a better job, or whatever the case may be. There's all kinds of situations out there. But you just, like I've told several people, it's not you could pray, but God answers in His time, not your time. So absolutely, I believe in prayer too. Absolutely, I sure do. I sure do. So when you grab your Bible and read a couple of verses of His promises and meditate on those through your day. Absolutely, Miss Julie. All right, guys. That's exactly right, Miss Julie. That's what I was just saying, honey. That's exactly right. Even though, we're human, we can't help but be, oh my gosh, like we want it done right then and there, or, we feel in a way that God's not answering our prayers. But like Miss Julie just said, and just like I just said, He hears your prayers, but He answers them in His time, not our time. So it's very, and we're human, and we're not perfect. It happens. It happens, guys. I mean, we're not perfect at all. So, it's hard to be patient, but you have to be patient, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? You got to be patient in your healing. You got to be patient in your prayers, that they'll be answered in His time. You got to be patient in, miracles, because I honestly believe in miracles. You never know. You never know. Yes, impatient. As I said, you got to try to be patient, but impatient. Do you know what I mean? It can be very hard because we're human, and we're just like, come on, like you could do it, Like it's just hard, and you don't really question, but you're just, you're over whatever you're going through. Like on my end, long story short, I got denied for disability again. I've been fighting for disability for 13 years. I got denied again, and I'm not trying to get Social Security because they said I didn't work enough. I'm trying to get the SSI, or whatever it is, where it's your medical and your income. That's what I'm trying to get. And so I do what I can work-wise, but it's very discouraging when you get that letter and it says you're denied. So it's very hard, and I've been praying so hard. I mean, 13 years is a long time. I'm not going to give up, but it's very stressful. It's very discouraging when you get that letter from Social Security and it says you got denied, or unfavorable is what it says. And then they send you 15 to 25 pages explaining how and why and all this crap. And it makes you feel teeny tiny, like you're getting squished on like a bug. And you got a lot of emotions, and it's hard. It's hard, guys. Hello, Mama P.I. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing well. Hope your husband's doing good, honey, and your family. And Merry Early Christmas, sweetheart. I do have a lawyer. Unfortunately, they've been my lawyer for about I'm not really 100% sure, but something between between 6 and 8 years, something like that. And like I said, I've been fighting for 13 years. We'll get back to reading here in just a second. I'm just going to talk to you guys for a few minutes. So I can smoke a cigarette. But I had my lawyer. I had a lawyer when I very first filed, and I didn't have as much wrong with me then as I do now. But the lawyer that I had, I went to court. This is my third or fourth time going to court. This is my third or fourth time getting denied by the judge. And I appeal it every time. I haven't got it appealed this time because I'm waiting for my lawyer. You're welcome, Mama P.I. But I'm waiting for my lawyer. They've been my lawyer for a long time. My lawyer said he just didn't understand because they see something, or they wouldn't be my lawyer for that long. They see something, then they just don't understand, what's going on as to why I'm not getting it. I mean, I'm almost 38 years old. I know that's rather young, but I'm almost 38 years old. I've been fighting for a very long time. The first lawyer I had was irrelevant to my case, just terrible, and they was asking off the wall questions that didn't even pertain to what I was trying to get disability for. And so they denied me on that one. That was years and years ago, like when I very first filed. And they denied me on that one. So I fired that lawyer because that lawyer was not beneficial to me. And then everybody was telling me about the lawyer that I have now. And they said they will not take your case if they know they cannot win it, which that's a lot of lawyers, But my lawyer told me, I said, well, I know you guys, I want to win. I want you guys to win so you can get paid because you worked real hard all these years and we still ain't getting nowhere. So, I mean, I'm just, well, and I'm a diabetic, Mama P.I., so I'm so hard. It's so hard. I'm scared to death because I'm a bigger girl, and I used to be a lot bigger. But I'm scared if I put a cigarette down that I'll gain a bunch of weight. And that scares me because I am diabetic. My diabetes is actually controlled with my medicine. If I wasn't on my medication, it would not be controlled at all. And so my A1C is actually below a 7. So they said that's really good. So I'm just scared. I try to watch what I eat, even though I'm picky. And I don't eat vegetables. I don't eat fruit. Like, I'm just mainly a meat and taters girl. I have a lot of protein. That's what my doctor says, since I eat a lot of meat. But I'm just, it sucks when you have so much mental health. And that's what they were focusing on, was mental health on my end. And I just recently got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, but I've had it for a really long time. I just not really got diagnosed, and they're not really, like, in the paperwork it says, I'm like, I don't know. I think that the doctors, in my opinion, I think the doctors that I have are notating it wrong and not notating it correctly, as in not notating as how I feel, what I'm going through that day or whatever. Hello, Miss Cindy. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. I hope your daughter's doing good, honey. But yeah, I'm just like, it's just because I suffer with so much mental. It's hard. It's hard to get that letter, and they nitpick every little thing, which I know they do. That's fine, but you don't have to send it to me to remind me what hell I go through on a daily. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying. That's just me, though. Oh, I'm not saying I definitely need to quit, but it's so hard. High protein diet is the way to go. Yeah, I mean, like 13 years is a long time. And like my lawyer said, and this is what happened, I had a hearing over the telephone, not in person, over the telephone. We'll get back to this one here in just a minute. But anyway, over the telephone, not in person, and or Zoom or anything. They said it was either going to be on Zoom or the telephone, and I was like, I don't. I just do the telephone because Zoom, it don't always work, and just it's kind of odd. But anyway, so they called in a special doctor because I've never had a special doctor look at my case. I have seen the disability doctors in person, and I've seen the physical doctor and the mental doctor. The mental doctor stated, excuse me, their mental doctor stated that I was a procrastinator. I was imagining things. How can you imagine what happened to you? I'm not making it triggering, but I'm just saying, how can you imagine what happened to you when you know what happened to you? That's not imagining. But anyway, and then I've seen their doctor, and of course that's what they said. So I've been dealing with this off and on and off and on, and doing everything that they asked me to do. Everything. Going to these doctors, and all this stuff, and like I said, I seen their doctor in real life, but they wanted to have a second opinion on my hearing. So the doctor that they sent in, he specializes in mental health. He was a psychiatrist or something like that, but he was an Arabian, and I'm not prejudiced against nobody, but I had a hard time understanding him. Now this is what he said that it just throws me for a loop. He said. Yes, it was. Yes, it was, Granny Bassmaster. He said that I was not allowed to be around the general public. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, that's fine because I on my mental. But I was okay to be with managers and coworkers. That makes no sense. Is not managers and coworkers the general public as well as that makes no sense to me. That makes no sense whatsoever. Anyway, so and then they had the occupational woman come on there to tell you what jobs you could do and what jobs you couldn't do and all that junk. And my lawyer asked her, they said, now, Miss Allison, that's my last name if you guys don't know. Miss Allison, she has all these limitations. Would she be able to come into work late, go into work early? Come into work late, leave work early, or miss at least once or twice a month in work, like for a whole day. And they said absolutely not, that she'd be fired on the spot. I was like, okay, well, that might be a good thing. My lawyer said if the judge goes by what the occupational lady said, that I would be approved. If he goes by what the Arabian Indian doctor said, I would be denied. So that's exactly what he did. He went by what the Indian doctor said instead of what the occupational specialist said, and that's why I got denied. So I'm not giving up. But that's just long story short. So it's very discouraging, and it's hard not to go back and read that letter, because you read the letter. Of course, they send you a book, and you read the letter, and you're just like, man, like, what am I doing wrong? I'm going to all these doctors. I'm doing everything that y'all asked me to, and I just don't understand. So, like, prayers would be appreciated, but that's our struggle right now. Rebel, he does work, a little bit, but he's not able to work a lot, guys, because he has gout real bad, and he's a real bad diabetic. He's got high blood pressure and all kinds of stuff. So he's trying to get disability too. So it's very rough right now, but, with the good Lord's help and the prayers and the support, we'll get through it. It's just very discouraging. It's very discouraging right now. So, I'm just hoping and praying that the good Lord answers our prayers sooner than later. But like I was saying, it's in His time, not ours. So I'm hoping, sometime really soon that it happens. And it will be such a blessing to us, considering, It's extreme, and I know a lot of people are suffering right now, financially, mentally, spiritually. There's a lot of people suffering right there, out there, and like I said, just pray for everybody. Just pray for everybody, because you might not even know that person's name, but you can still say a prayer for them, you know, and you can or get to know them and try to be there for them. But that's what we're dealing with right now. I don't care not one bit, I, to say, what we're going through. That's what I just said. Rebel works a little bit. He does what he can, but he's got gout real bad, guys, in his in his feet, in his ankles, in his knees, in his legs, in his hips, and in his hands. So like a lot of his limbs have gout. So I mean, he can only do so much, and so it is extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult, but prayers would be definitely appreciated. So I'll get back to us reading, but I just wanted to keep you guys updated, because I know that I always try to keep y'all updated. This is a different, this channel and Rebel's channel is a different type of channel than people are used to seeing on YouTube. Like, we're just us, and we're true, and we tell you guys the truth. We don't hide nothing. We're kind of an open book. We don't hide nothing from you guys. We let what our daily, whatever we're doing. I kind of keep y'all updated on the mental health aspect. Right now, it's okay. It's not the best. I'm trying to get back into counseling, but they said it wouldn't be till after January, because she was booked up. So I'm trying to get back into counseling. Mental health wise, you got your good and bad days, guys. Just like anybody, you got your good and bad days, and you just try to do the very best you can with what cards you've been dealt with at this time. You just try to do the best you can. Good Lord knows that we're trying, and a lot of people are trying. So that's really all you can do. You know. Thank you, Granny. And he'll let you guys know, but I'll let you guys know if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, he's an open book to a certain extent. But when it comes to his health, he's a man, so he don't like going to the doctor. But I make him. I'll be your advocate back and scoot over, girl. I'm moving in. Oh my goodness gracious. But I'm telling you, it's rough. And then Christmas time coming around, it's a struggle, but we'll make it. Right now, I've just got a huge stress on me, but I'm praying that the good Lord will provide. As you guys know, my van, I have 2 cars, and my van decided to throw a rod while I was driving it. I was Instacarting, where I did a shop and deliver for somebody. Anyway, love you too, Miss Cindy. I love you guys so much. I I was driving down this road and I went down the hill and the van was ticking, and I was like, okay, well, she needs oil. Well, when I went to go to the bottom of the hill and stopped at the stop sign to turn right, the van died. And I tried to start it back, and it was clink, 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 clink. So, unfortunately, this was months ago. Unfortunately, our van blew a rod while I was driving it. And I had baby James and Trinity in the car. And this was around September, I believe. So it was real hot. We sit in the car for like 2 hours, or in the van for like 2 hours. And it's still a lemon. We got to get it scrapped. And then I have another vehicle. It's a SUV that we got right before Rebel's brother Bullet, because I know you guys heard about Bullet, him passing away. This was actually, he's been passed away a year and 5 days. He passed away December the 12th of last year. Anyway, so the last thing that we got, because Rebel had a motorcycle and Bullet wanted the motorcycle, so we said, okay, we'll trade the motorcycle so you can have one, and we'll get your SUV. So we have his SUV. It's we haven't got it switched over in his name. The title's still in his name and everything, but and the tags are dead on it. But we took it to Walmart to get it serviced, to get an oil changed on it. It was driving perfect. It was awesome. It's a Suzuki XL7 or something like that. Anyway, and so it was driving good on gas, everything. We went to go get an oil change, and we took it to Walmart, and we said, check all the fluids, and if they're low, put them in there, all that stuff like you do when you get a oil change. And about a week after that, after we got our oil change, the SUV did not want to go up a hill. It would go real sluggish. It wouldn't jerk, but wouldn't go up a hill. It was fine, like on a straight stretch or no hills. It was fine. But as soon as you hit a hill, like it would drag and to go up that hill. And so we think that they drained all the transmission fluid out of it. But I'm not really for sure. Now, that transmission fluid is not a massive deal, but it is for that one because it is a Suzuki XL7 with a sealed transmission. And so that means sealed transmission, you have to take it to a mechanic to get it repumped back in. You can't just put it in yourself. So we have the SUV that we haven't got a chance to get that because you have to have the extra funds, and we literally live pennies to pennies, literally. So we have a van out there that's a Lumen that we need to get scrapped. We have an SUV out there that I can't drive because the tags are dead and the title's in somebody else's name, and it won't really go up a hill. Okay? Well, we're borrowing a dear friend of ours' truck, and I thank the good Lord in heaven above for that, or I won't be able to work or take the youngins to the doctor, take myself to the doctor. I won't be able to do nothing. Unfortunately, you got to have a vehicle to go places and take care of your youngins, and heaven forbid an emergency happen. You got to have a vehicle. So he's letting us borrow the vehicle until we get the SUV fixed. Well, he told me the other day, that we needed to either get that SUV fixed or buy another car. So, but he said that, I talked to him and he said, he would have to need it back. He's helping some people. He's a really kind-hearted man, very sweet. He's, part of the VFW that we used to be in until it closed down. And, he's an elderly veteran, and he actually, kindness of his heart, took a family in off the street from the Hurricane Helene, and gave them a place to stay until they could find a place to stay. So he told me when they did decide to move out that he would need his truck back in order to help them move. So I don't know when that would be, but I have a lot of stress on me right now. And I don't ask for nothing. You guys know that. I really don't. Rebel don't ask for nothing. But I was thinking about, and you guys know Rebel, I was thinking about doing like a GoFundMe or something like that. Every little bit helps. But Rebel, you know what Rebel said? Nobody's going to donate to that. And I'm like, we're just kind of like bombarded with a lot of stuff, and it being Christmas time, and it's just a lot going on right now. But I'm hoping and praying something comes through, and we can get some kind of vehicle. And because he loaned it to us until we could get our SUV fixed, but we don't know how much that's going to cost because we can't drive it because the tags are dead and it won't go up a hill. So I'm just like, when it rains, it pours. So we're just dealing with a lot of stress right now. And so prayers would definitely be appreciated. Definitely. All right, guys. So that's enough of, I don't want to bore you guys and I don't want anybody to think I'm drifting or anything like that, because I'm not. I've never, not once asked, for help. I've always said, if you guys want to donate, you're more than welcome to, just like Rebel does. If you don't have to. If you don't have it, I understand. I just appreciate you guys being in here. Times are hard for a lot of people, so I really appreciate you guys being in here and supportive. I really, really do. I really appreciate it, and you guys being there for me and being there for Rebel. It really, really means a lot. It really does, guys. It really does, guys. See, our trouble is right now we're literally living penny to penny. We're literally live paycheck to paycheck. We don't have any extra money to do anything. So, excuse me. So it's a lot of stress. You have to have a vehicle. And I don't know when he will have his back, or he will request his back. So I'm just really under a lot. I'm just really under a lot of stress right now, and y'all making me hungry. You might make me want to go fry some eggs and bacon in a skillet. Thank you guys so much. I've had this show for over 2 years now, and you guys don't know how much y'all mean to me and Rebel. But, I always say, it's just really hard. And you guys have never heard me and Rebel ask for anything, ever. We always say, if you guys want to donate, you're more than welcome to, but that's not required. We just appreciate you guys coming in here and supporting us. It really means a lot. It really does. All right, guys, so let's get back into it. Yes, I'm under a lot of stress, and then Christmas time, it's just rough. It's like bombarded, like you walk 2 steps and then you go back 15 steps. Like you can't really get ahead from get behind, if that makes sense. So it's extremely hard. But prayers definitely would be appreciated. It definitely would be appreciated. All right, guys, so here's the next one. Feeling is healing. Feeling is healing. All right, this is by Reverend Elizabeth Longo. At the core of our being, we are whole and complete, for we are made in the image of our likeness, our Creator. However, through the human condition and our childhood experiences, we accumulate limiting beliefs and blocks. We bottle up emotions and cover our wounds, thinking they will go away. We forget how powerful we are. Our work is to heal the wounds, feel the feelings, and change the beliefs that cause our suffering. We often hear that great sculptors chip away marble to reveal the underlying masterpiece. In the same way, our healing is a process of uncovering the layers that are blocking the truth of our divine nature. I know that feeling, Miss Julie. That's what I said. Penny to penny minus penny. Yeah, absolutely, honey. I know that feeling. Big time. Trust me, I do, honey. Healing has many layers. It's mental, emotional, physical, and energetic. And it begins with our willingness and courage to lovingly accept with compassion those parts in us that are frozen and stuck. Bring in curiosity, loving kindness, and openness to feel its first step in emotional healing. Emotions are energy and emotion. As we feel the energy, we free our souls. I grew up in a household where strong emotions were not tolerated. The only acceptable feelings was happiness. At a young age, I learned to smile regardless of what I was feeling and bottled up my emotions. I bet this is kind of a little bit of my story, guys, because of my situation growing up as a child. It worked for a while, and every so often a volcano would erupt from within me, as I let it all out was repressing. But expressing anger simply was not tolerated, so I conformed. I smiled. I blamed myself when I had strong emotions and hid them deep within. I felt guilty, ashamed, and unworthy of love. I played the role of good girl no matter what. Absolutely, guys. It sucks growing up being a preacher's daughter. It's very rough. It's very rough. As a teenager, I couldn't contain the strong emotions anymore and started acting out. I was miserable and rotting in a dungeon of unfelt emotions. It took me a long time to learn that you cannot heal what you're not willing to feel. The way out began with a better understanding and relationship with my emotions. I understood that as long as I'm unwilling to make friends with my emotions, I was blocking the life force within me. To be fully alive, whole, and complete, I had to accept and embrace all my feelings while being gentle and loving with myself. Being a feeler, more than a thinker, questioning my beliefs and practicing denials and affirmations was not enough for me. I had to free up a lot of stuck energy. Above all, I had to be patient and trust the process. I took a leap of faith, prayed, meditated, journaled, and started to practice being more present towards my feelings as I went through my day. Instead of pushing negative emotions away, I became comfortable with being uncomfortable. Then I started noticing that these intense emotions brought a gift when I was willing to feel. I started feeling more alive and joyful. Little by little, I came into my God-given powers. Healing is unique, individual journey. I find it useful to have a personal healing toolbox that provides me with a smorgasbord of modalities. When I begin my day with intention to be gentle with myself, to be present, open, and trusting that everything is working for my good, then I can navigate all experiences with greater ease and peace. Above all, being loving, compassionate, and accepting of myself, including my imperfections. Centering yourself in God and do not waver in your healing. Know that you matter and are fully capable of meeting whatever arises. Keep your faith strong and knowing that at the core of your being, you're whole and complete. All right, here's a practice, guys. Becca, that's why you're an empath. We feel who we need to walk on eggshells with. It's caused by trauma. Absolutely, Granny, honey. And they said that I have PTSD, childhood PTSD, as well as adult PTSD. So I've had a lot of trauma in my life. I've had a lot of trauma. Practice. Here's some tips for emotional healing. Number 1, journal daily to become familiar with your feelings. Be curious. Ask, what am I feeling? If it feels heavy, breathe and create space around it. Remember, it is okay to feel what you are feeling. Do not judge your feelings. Finish by listing at least 3 things you are grateful for in the moment. And give yourself a hug and some loving kindness. Number 2, during the day, stop and bring your awareness to the moment. Notice how your body is feeling. Take a couple of breaths. Then focus on your heart space. After a few moments in the silence, ask yourself, what am I feeling? When you are tempted to resist strong emotions, remind yourself you are courageous and fully capable of feeling. Feeling is healing. Number 4, have a trusted friend or therapist support you in your healing journey. We all need a listening ear. Number 5, practice meditation. To simply sit and observe with compassion and curiosity is healing. You may want to put your hand on your heart space and visualize a beautiful light clearing the heaviness. Number 6, remember that all things come to pass. I love that. Remember, all things come to pass. That's Reverend Elizabeth Longo. All right, guys. And let me see. I think I have 2. Let me see. I want to tell you guys. I think I have Yes, so I have 3 more of these. This is our next one. The Purpose of Feelings. The Purpose of Feelings. It is by Reverend Suzanne Carter. The Purpose of Feelings. Many years ago, I saw a client who was preparing to have surgery. Details have been changed to avoid identifying this child. Once we were in my office, I got out some paper and crayons because it's easier for children to play out their feelings than talk about them. I asked the child to draw whatever he wanted to about his upcoming surgery. He drew some animals, and it clearly looked as if the scene were in a hospital. After the child was done, I asked the little animal was feeling about where he was. The child said, very scared. His mother jumped up, grabbed the paper, and said, you are not scared. There is no need to be scared. I wish I knew who decided that when someone is feeling fear or another so-called negative emotion, that these emotions should be avoided at all costs. The truth is that when we perceive something threatening, our bodies generate an authentic emotion of fear to help us be aware and act if necessary. If we have sadness, we are feeling a loss. If we are angry, our boundaries have been violated. If we feel joy, then we are connected to our truest and most authentic self, which is always connected to the divine. These emotions are a part of our God-given ability to understand ourselves, our connections to others, and our connection to God. Since we are made in the image and likeness of the divine, would not our feeling nature be part of the partial of who we are? Feeling, thinking, seeing, intuiting. In order to understand the purpose of feelings, it's helpful to know that feelings or emotional awareness is just one way of understanding our world. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung explained that there are 4 functions of consciousness, or 4 ways of knowing, feeling, thinking, sensing, and intuiting. Each function gives us information that is vital to understanding our world. We need to take care not to do our spiritual bypass and ignore our feelings, jumping into our mind to think ourselves out of our experience. Let's look at these 4 ways of knowing a little bit more deeply. Thinking has to do with our beliefs, thoughts, intellect, and cognitive abilities. Intuiting has to do with our deep inner knowing. Sensing is acquiring knowledge through the 5 senses. Feeling is being aware of our emotions. These 4 functions are 4 different ways of knowing. The healthiest person will have a good balance of all 4 functions. The flip side of trying to avoid what we deem to be negative or unacceptable feelings is to be overwhelmed by them. Here again, we need a balance among the 4 functions of consciousness. We humans must remember that feelings are just feelings. They are not facts. They give us information about how we're experiencing what is happening to us on an external and an internal level. Okay. This is a practice. Let's see. Feelings are dominating our consciousness. There's a technique devised by Dan Siegel, MD, clinical professor at UCLA School of Medicine, to manage the feelings so they do not flood our awareness. He called this process "name it to tame it." This method gives us a way to deal with the experiences of being mad, sad, scared, or other feelings that be difficult to manage. Here it is. Name it to tame it. Notice your emotional experience and really breathe into it, asking, what feeling am I feeling? Then answer these 4 questions about the feeling. Where do I feel this in my body? What color is this feeling? What shape is this feeling? Does this feeling word have a message attached to it? Then sit with the answers. Typically, this process gives a person more distance from their feeling, and they are able to discern their next step. Again, each of the 4 functions is necessary, and a balanced understanding is the best way to find our authentic path and courageously be who we are in the world. All right. Then we have this one, guys. Dang it. Shifting your thoughts. Well, shifting your thoughts to heal. All right. Then we got one more after this one, guys. So we're almost done. It says, as we grow, we create an awareness of ourselves, others, and everything that surrounds us. The consciousness is shaped by our senses, perceptions, and the influence of others. From the beginning, our parents, relatives, teachers, and other significant adults transmit different messages, sometimes negative. You know nothing. You're so clumsy. You never do anything right. Or maybe you're so weak. You're always sick. Maybe we're just also told God is far away, watching from heaven to punish you. Oh my gosh, that's awful. Our subconscious mind becomes so full of these remarks that it's hard to hear different thoughts arising from our inner selves. You are beloved. I want you to have my kingdom. I have come so that you may have life abundantly. But the time we grow up, all these thoughts are intertwined in our minds. We become confused, not knowing what to believe or how to act. Our lives may be full of discomfort, sadness, or unpleasantness. We may become sick or feel unhappy. Emptiness becomes our companion. We are searching for something we can't identify. Then one day it happens. A beam of light transforms everything. A deeper inner voice speaks as we listen. Come back. Come home. I have food for you that you do not know. I am your creator. I love you with eternal love. Unity founders Myrtle and Charles Fillmore healed themselves because they shifted their thinking from sickness and wellness and plenty. They started to believe that they were children of God, divine heirs of good and blessing, not sickness and scarcity. Suddenly in our minds we have a new thought. We may have been told that in the Bible we can find our own story as children beloved of God. We start reading, studying, discovering, and shifting. We learn we are created in God's mind, after His image and likeness, that our essence is perfect and divine. There is a shift in our thinking. We look to our inner self, where there's new voices coming from. We listen. New feelings and emotions emerge. Peace, love, acceptance of others, and others and ourselves. We begin to heal from within. But we learn real healing takes courage, trust, determination, discipline, order, and above all, faith and prayer. In 2016, I had an opportunity to practice this truth. I became very sick and rested in a coma for 16 days. After some months, they sent me home under hospice care. One day, as I was praying, I asked, what is it that I do not heal? I heard the voice within. You are still thinking and acting like a sick person. Hold on just a second, guys. One day I was praying. I asked, what is it that I do not heal? I heard the voice within. You're still thinking and acting like a sick person. Those words were my 2x4, an abrupt awakening. My thoughts, words, and actions shifted too. I am the beloved of God. I am healed, and at that very moment my healing manifested. Nearly 8 years later, I still kept those words as a part of my routine prayers. Yes, as we shift our consciousness from illness to health, and from imperfect humans to divine creators of God, we start healing ourselves. And here is a practice, and then we have one more, guys. It says, as we move into our healing practice, I remind you of Paul's words in Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by renewing of your minds, so that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. In these words, we are called to renew and shift our thinking about anything in life. How do we do it? Number 1, identify and acknowledge your desire to change and transform your life. Number 2, pray and center your attention on your inner self, the God presence within, for guidance and direction. Number 3, faithfully take action accordingly. Number 4, be grateful and see beyond your desire what is there for you. The more you practice, the easier it will be to see the results of spiritual activity in your life. I will share the affirmation I have used for years. I now let go of any thought of illness in harmony, scarcity. I'm firm health, harmony, and plenty. This is my truth. That is from Reverend Dr. Norma Iris. All right, guys, and here is the last one. Excuse me. And here's our last one. I guess I bored some people because the people left, or maybe they fell asleep. This is our last one, and this might be useful for a lot of people. Healing from trauma. There we go. Healing from trauma is the last one, guys. And look at that picture. It's so pretty. All right, guys. This is Reverend Christina Garza. I hope you guys are enjoying this, guys. I hope I'm not boring you too bad. I really appreciate you guys being in here. I really do. Thank you guys so much. You don't know how much me and Rebel appreciate all you precious people. And that's the truth. Like, really, truly. Really appreciate it. Alright, this one is, like I said, healing from trauma. We grow up in a world where trauma, drama, and violence are often normalized. So much that most of us never realize the impact they have on us. Excuse me, guys. The things we experience are silenced, covered up, and forgotten, so we don't see them for what they are. Yet trauma weaves its way into the deep recesses of our bodies and minds. It takes up space and wreaks havoc like a hidden computer virus until one day things are a mess. About 6 years ago, I was having trouble sleeping. In fact, I felt terror at nighttime. I would hear strange noises, thinking someone was entering my house, and was scared to fall asleep. These sleepless nights went on for a few weeks. It got so bad that one night I slept in my closet because the small space and the extra door protection made me feel safer. When I woke in the morning on the closet floor, I knew my life was out of control and something was very wrong. I had never experienced this before. I was always such a great sleeper. Why was I feeling scared, threatened, insecure, helpless, and fearful? And why was I feeling anger, resentment, and sadness at the same time? Well, I appreciate that, Deanna, honey. Shortly before this incident, I became a certified Q coach in the quantum living process, which is integrated cognitive shadow work practice that weaves together the latest research in various scientific fields and wisdom traditions. It teaches that what you're going through is always the result of something deeper, usually rooted in the past. The process involves a worksheet that takes you through a methodical process to explore your trigger and create a new story for healing. Through the Q process, I uncovered feelings connected to a traumatic incident I had buried so deeply that I'd forgotten it. When I was 18 years old, I was involved in a drive-by shooting. I was sitting outside when a young boy next door was shot. The only thing I clearly remember is being crouched over his profusely bleeding body. Trigger warning, guys. I don't know. We're reading this together. When the ambulance arrived and the EMT workers slowly got out, laughing and talking jovially, I remember feeling rage at their taking the situation lightly. They moved the boy's body onto the stretcher carelessly and roughly. I clearly remember crying in anger and yelling at them that this was a person, not a piece of meat. There was anger and pain in the woven together in the tapestry of trauma. I don't remember what happened after that. I only know that the boy died and never spoke of the incident again with anyone. My terror at night was a response to unprocessed trauma. There had been a recent epidemic of young men being unalived in Chicago gun violence that created a perfect storm to surface my old pain. I had, in fact, attended the funeral of one of those young men that passed away. With the support of my Q coach, I was able to understand the trigger, grief, and reprocess the story to create freedom in my life. And I was able to sleep soundly again. The body and mind are a mystery. Healing shows up at the strangest times and in the strangest ways. When you are going through unexplained illness, depression, fear, or any other physical or mental manifestation, it oftentimes brings an opportunity to go deeper. The road to healing can be slow, difficult, and confusing, as all is being revealed for your greatness and highest good. New Thought teacher Emma Curtis Hopkins reminds us, this too is good. This too is God. This too is for me, and I demand to see the blessing. I encourage you to have patience and faith, mixed with a deep dose of courage and boldness. Happy healing, beloved. Okay, guys, and then this is a practice for what we just covered, and that will be the last one for tonight. And like I said, we definitely will be making a part 2 of this. And it'll be after the first year, after the holidays and everything. This is healing from trauma. This is practice. First, get support, people, professionals, or organizations. Second, be willing to get out of your comfort zone to try something new. Here's some ideas. Find a process to go deeper, such as quantum living process, EDMR therapy, cognitive therapy, or other talk therapy. Engage in body work to help reset your nervous system. There are therapies such as somatic therapy, EFT tapping, intuitive chiropractic care, trauma-informed massage or yoga, and cranial sacral massage. I've never heard some of them. Explore ancient Eastern practices such as acupuncture, Reiki, yoga as powerful tools to restore harmony. Experiment with ancient indigenous healing wisdom with practices such as sweat lodges and fire, keko, or plant medicine ceremonies. I found all these practices to offer a profound portal of transformation. Allow for radical joy in the midst of the pain. We must not simply remove trauma, but replace it with new soul enrichment moments. Go to a comedy show, play in the dirt, dance like nobody's watching, or sing at the top of your lungs to your favorite empowerment song. Engage the senses to build patterns of bliss. Have fun while healing. That is Reverend Christina Garcia. All right, guys, and then when I will, this will be a number 2 to this one. We have, because I'm not trying to make these too long, guys. So we have, well, on the number 2, we have recovering from addiction, healing our finances. Every prayer is for healing. Make time for healing. Getting back on the wagon. Music healing's properties. And laughter is medicine. And not unlocking the power of love. And I think that's the last one. Yes. So we got, let's see. We got 7 more, so I just read half the book, guys. I read half the book, so it's a little book, but I thought it was really useful information, guys. Really, truly. And we will, like I said, there will definitely be a part 2. We will do like on the spiritual wisdom of pets that's happening the first of the year. I'll do half that book, and then we'll have a part 2 as that one as well. Because there's like 60 pages. So if we can do half the book, or the pamphlet, or the little storybook, then we can do the other half for another time. So bring more awareness to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And my little rant, and this kind of what me and Rebel's going through right now. I really appreciate you guys listening. and being there for me. And Rebel, I really, 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 really appreciate it. Me and Rebel, like I said, we're just us. We're not, we don't claim to be nothing. We're not. Um, we're just real people. What you see is what you get. If y'all met us in person, we're the same exact people online as in person. The same exact people. We're not, because we're YouTubers. Well, we're not big YouTubers, and even if we were bigger YouTubers, we would still be the same people. I'm just saying, some people get up in subscribers and stuff, and then they 360'd, like they change their ways. And me and Rebel's been like this since day one, and we're not changing for nobody. So I really do hope that you guys enjoyed the little bit of the reading. I know I probably read some of you guys asleep, but y'all can go back and watch the replay if y'all did fall asleep, because a lot of people tell me my voice is calming. So some people might doze off and not mean to, but they just said that it's relaxing. So if y'all are watching the replay, let me know what you thought about it. That's fine, Miss Cindy. You sure can, honey. Absolutely, honey. Send me a message at Facebook. I've got, you guys, if y'all don't have my number and y'all want it, I don't care to send it to you guys. I won't put it on here, because it's YouTube. But if you guys want, you can always call me or text me or send me a Facebook or send me an email. There's different ways to contact me. You're more than welcome to reach out. If you need somebody to talk to, or just, you know, just want to talk, just shoot the shit, shoot the breeze, whatever, you're more than welcome to. Just send me an email or Facebook me, and I don't care not one bit. I've always said this since day one. I'm here for each and every one of you guys. No questions asked. Hello, Miss Jeannie. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. But yeah, no questions asked. If you guys need somebody, I don't want anybody to ever feel like that nobody has nobody to talk to. Please reach out. I promise you, I'm there for you guys. I've been there, and I don't uphold myself at all, but I've been there for a lot of you guys in these past 2 years. And I won't say names because I'm not like that. But I have been there for you guys, and I will continue to be there for you guys. So if y'all ever need somebody to talk to, just please reach out. I'm there for you guys. No questions asked. Have a good night, Miss Julie. I'm getting ready to get out here anyway. I try not to make these too long, but I really appreciate y'all could be anywhere on these YouTube streets and you come and hang out with me. So I really, really, really appreciate you guys so much. But I always say this before I go: you never know what somebody's going through. You don't know what they've been through in their life, what they're currently going through. Be kind to one another. It doesn't cost nothing to be kind to somebody. Be a difference in somebody's life. Don't be no better than nobody, because nobody's better than nobody. But be a difference in somebody's life. People remember and will always remember what you said to them and what you've done for them. So just be a good person. Kindness goes a long way. Have a good night, Deanna in Ohio. Have a wonderful night, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being in here. I really appreciate it. Prayers for you all. And I love you guys. And I really appreciate you guys so much. I really do. Don't forget, we are going to see the Christmas lights this Thursday. Now, if you guys don't remember last year they said it was the Rebels Christmas instead of that, oh my gosh, that Christmas movie with Chevy Chase. So you guys in for some laughs. Y'all come hang out with us on Thursday. We're going to go see the Christmas lights at the Bristol Motor Speedway. I don't know what time Rebel has it scheduled, but y'all come over and hang out with us. And then this Friday, is the White Trash Family Bonfire Christmas show, and it is also our Christmas karaoke show this Friday. So I love you guys. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you guys so much for coming in here. If you are watching the replay, please hit the like, share it out, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the little booklet I went over. Like I said, there will be a part 2. It will happen after the holidays. So y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you guys again so much for coming in here. I love each and every one of you guys, and I will see you guys soon. And I really, really, really appreciate you all so much. God bless you all. I'm praying for you. I'm here for you, and I love you. And just know that you're supported and loved over here. So you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys Thursday for the lights. Love y'all. See ya.